Raven Ridge Wildlife Center is one of only 13 rescues licensed in the state to handle rabies vector species.
We are all pre-vaccinated and able to work with these animals. We also have standards that we need to follow, protocols that we need to follow, and special caging. This is our intake paperwork that we use for the rabies vector species.
The rescue often serves as a bridge between the public and some extensive state and federal regulations. Much of it centers on the concept of exposure, which in the case of rabies means any contact with the animal's saliva.
If there are exposures, someone gets bit, there's scratches, there's saliva, we need to have the animal tested to see if it does have rabies. If it does, that's when the Department of Health and the Game Commission get involved, and possibly you would need post-exposure rabies shots. Unfortunately, the only test to see if the animal has rabies is to euthanize, and they test the brain tissue. We understand that the babies are cute, the foxes, the raccoons, the skunks, but it's so important to handle these animals properly so that we can rehabilitate them. Don't hold on to the raccoon for a week and feeding it and letting everybody play with it and your dogs are playing with it, because that's considered an exposure. And we are required by law, for your protection and the protection of your family, to have this raccoon tested. It's very heartbreaking.
There are a lot of misconceptions about rabid animals. For starters, they're not always foaming at the mouth.
The animal can be friendly, the animal can be aggressive, or the animal can just be itself.
But don't assume an animal that's normally around at night is rabid just because it's out by day.
Especially in the springtime, raccoons, skunks, foxes, they're raising babies and they're hungry and they're busy.
Some people think baby animals can't get rabies.
If mom has rabies and mom is grooming the animal, cleaning them, licking their face, that is how it transmits to the babies. When the dust settles, so to speak, and people start reading this, we've had people come back and say, you know, I read the paperwork that you sent home and I think there might be an exposure.